Hello and good morning, it's Phil Thatch and I'm coming to you from the Saratoga Springs Grandstand area bus stop where we are waiting to go to Animal Kingdom. And here comes a bus and it says Saratoga Springs. So far we don't know where it's going. Magic Kingdom, that is not us. So we'll be waiting a little bit longer for our bus here at the Grandstand bus stop. We cannot wait to get here because this is the big photography day of the Disney trip. I'm carrying my Canon R6 and the 100 to 500 lens with me. So it's going to be a lot of fun photographing all the animals and birds at Animal Kingdom theme park. And just like that, we are at Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has the most unassuming front gate, I would say. Check it out, we are in line for Kilimanjaro Safaris. There's Heather, and look, we've got the guys from Wolf Tick Videos with us.
Wolf Tick Videos are here.
Right here. So we're
No
going
bikes,
to do
though. No bikes.
no bikes. We're going to do this in a truck. We are on the back row of the truck, hanging out with the Wolf Tick Videos guys, getting ready to get our photography on. All right, this is a hippopotamus. It looks like it's dead, but it's just sleeping. It was really cold that morning, and usually when you go here, you see the hippos and they are in the water and you can barely see them at all, but this one was completely out of the water and taking a nap. Here is one of the zebras that you can see from the safari ride. Didn't get any photographs of them when they weren't feeding, but I did like the composition of this one and the nice warm tones. This is what the safari vehicles look like. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, and they seat 4 to 6 people per row. So those things really carry a lot of people on the safari ride. Here is an elephant. What kind of elephant is this, Heather?
It's an African elephant.
African elephant. You think that's a male?
Yes.
Cool. So here he is, and you can't quite see it out of frame, but there's food up above that it was kind of getting at. What kind of flamingo is this, Heather?
This is a greater flamingo.
And they are larger than the lessers, is that right?
That's correct.
And you see these on the safari, and there's another place where you can see lessers. 238 millimeter shot from the bouncing truck at 1/1600th of a second. And this is another of that same flamingo. There's quite a few of them, but this one had good light on it, so I was able to get a decent shot. Here's a cheetah. Now this is 20,000 ISO from the bouncing truck at 400 millimeters. And it just reminds me of our house cat, the way it's sitting there. And if you look really close, there's a ton of noise in this, even though I ran it through Topaz. Here is the lion up on its area where it usually is, and I thought this shot came out cool, even though it's horribly backlit, because it was kind of licking its chops on this 400 millimeter shot. Here's a couple of ostriches, 176 millimeter shot, so they weren't too far away. Of course, they're really tall. All of these are made on the bouncing truck. One of the very last things, and this is kind of new, they've got an area just as you're leaving the safari, and they say it's where the ranger lives, and there's goats out there. So I made a photograph of this goat. All right, so here are Heather's pictures. They will always say Z50 up here at the top. Mine say CR6 for Canon R6. And this is Heather's shot. It is a tough shot to get a photograph of these Nile crocodile that are down. You're bouncing your way across a bridge and looking down at these, and she did a really nice job. Heather got a zebra photo, nice, there off of the truck. This one is at 24 millimeters, so we were really close. She was using the Tamron 18 to 400, which is a APS-C or DX lens, and so I couldn't have got this shot because it was too close for the 100. But she's at 24, which is like 36 millimeters equivalent on full frame. She got this shot of the giraffe. When we were on our first ride, the giraffes weren't all the way out into the safari, but she got a picture that she liked of them kind of over to the side, 170 millimeters. Here's the large bull elephant as it's feeding, 250 millimeter shot with the Tamron. And here it is reaching up for, I guess there's some food, what was it, just out of frame in like a basket or something?
Yeah.
240 millimeter shot. These are the greater flamingo that you can see from the safari ride. Here's a feeding white rhino that Heather photographed. Heather's cheetah shot and my cheetah shot are very similar. Looks like she's only at 11,400 ISO though. I had a lion shot just like this, but I got one just a little bit later while it was licking its chops, and she got one after it had laid down. I really like the detail of its eye right there in that shot. And I didn't get a picture of the female lion, or the lioness, I guess, on our first ride, although I did get a shot on our second ride. Here now at my favorite place to eat counter service food at Animal Kingdom. It's Flame Tree Barbecue, where we enjoyed some good food, where Heather's having a barbecue pork sandwich and a cold beer. Is that mine? Mm-hmm. And I'm having a half a chicken. Food. And we came down here to the lower dining area, which has this pond. And there were several ibis to photograph, so I photographed some of those. I think Heather did as well. Here's some photos from Flame Tree Barbecue. This is a white ibis, and that red reflection on the water is the cover of the table on the other side where we were eating. This is an adult, and this is a juvenile. Let's see, this one's 238 millimeters. That one was 135. Kind of cool to see a juvenile one this close. And then this, same distance, but I zoomed all the way up to 500 millimeters to get a really close shot. Fill the screen with that. And here's another close shot, 428 millimeters of that same juvenile white ibis near the water at Flame Tree Barbecue. This is the white ibis there at Flame Tree Barbecue, and Heather did not come over on the side where I was, so she shot this really close to our table where we ate. And this up close shot, 185 millimeters, you can see us at the table reflected in its pupil. And one family had all of their food on the table, and then they left the food just sitting there to go get some napkins or whatever, and the ibis came and attacked it and stood on their food and ate some of their food, so it was a mess. We're back in Pandora. We're going to do our fast pass at Flight of Passage and then hook back up with the Wolf Tick guys a little bit later. But right now, while we're slightly early for our fast pass, we're going to have some dessert. Check it out. It's the best dessert in all of Disney World. We're at Satuli Canteen, and this is the blueberry cream cheese mousse. Also, I have one of these crazy green beers. We are back at the safari with the Wolf Tick guys, and we have a lightning lane. Let's tap in.
All right.
Yay, thanks. Let's do this. These are really hard to get a picture of on the safari ride. They're off to the right, kind of in the early part. And I did happen to get one semi-decent shot. This is, what'd you say it was, a kudu?
It's a kudu.
Kudu, very cool. 400 millimeter shot. This is a saddle-billed stork, and I've seen these in the early part of the safari ride many times. This is the first time I've gotten an anywhere near presentable shot, and there is still some motion blur in this. It's a really bumpy area. It was just hard, and I was shooting 20 frames a second, and I probably shot 20 or 30 pictures, and this is the only one that was anywhere near close to in focus. So I was really happy to get this shot. What kind of bird is that, Heather?
That's a pink-backed pelican.
Pink-backed pelican. I think this is near where the hippos are. Is that right? So that's pretty cool to get this photo. I on the first safari of the day, I took a picture of these and I wasn't happy, but this one turned out okay. Here is another zebra photo, kind of similar to the last one, but larger in the frame, 451 millimeters, and it's not feeding, it's standing upright for once. And speaking of feeding, here is, what kind of giraffe is that?
That's a Maasai giraffe.
And you can see how big those trucks are and how big the giraffe is, much taller than the trucks. And they put the food in strategic locations so you can get pretty doggone close to them. So I made this photo, and then as our truck went by this location, that's a 400 millimeter shot. Then I made this shot, and this is only 270 millimeters of the same giraffe, I believe, feeding from the same location. Here we are far away, and here we are where that truck was. Here is a Springbok. These are probably the cutest animal on the safari ride, and I believe this is the first time I've gotten a photo of one of these that I like. Usually they're pretty far away and they're real small. 428 millimeter shot of this little cutie. This is Ankole cattle. They are huge and those horns are huge. You see these every time you ride the safari, but quite often I end up not getting a picture of them that I like. But I like this one quite a bit. 186 millimeter shot, pretty close. What kind of giraffe is that, Heather?
It's a Maasai.
Oh, so that's a Maasai as well. Okay. Kind of out there all on its own and not eating. So that was cool. 300 millimeter shot. We think this is a white rhino. I made a number of photos of it, but this one was probably the best and the rest of them were pretty similar. So I just shared this one. 270 millimeter shot. You don't need a huge lens to make photos from the safari ride. This is a female lion, and I believe, if I understand correctly, I think they heat those, they're not really rocks, they're made of concrete, but I think they heat them in areas that would cause the lion to sit in a place where you can see them from the ride. Here's a 428 millimeter shot. I wish she was looking at us instead of away. Heather got a shot of that kudu as well, looking regal up on the hill beside the roadway on the right. And Heather got a shot of the pink-backed pelican. Looks like it's trying to dry off its feathers. You can see where they make them unable to fly. They do that to the roseate spoonbill as well, so they don't leave the premises, which I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest with you. I like the birds in the aviary better because they're free to fly around and enjoy themselves. Here's another shot of the pink-backed pelican that Heather made. And here is another zebra photo that Heather made at 270 millimeters. She got a nice up-close photograph. I got one kind of similar to this of the giraffe as it's feeding. Here's a, wow, look at all that mud on those elephants. And the one on the left is I guess they used to call it the baby. Now it's just not an adult. Awesome. Look at all the, it looks like a map of a desert or something. And Heather got a picture of the lioness up on the rocks. 400 millimeters. Wow, she was using all of that lens on that one. All right, that's going to do it for this segment of our video from Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see some more content like this. And we look forward to seeing you in our next video.